Intake time, baby. Our first flow mod on the MazdaSpeed 3. We're gonna be installing this 3-inch CPE performance. Full intake, including the inlet pipe as well. Boom. Let's make some whooshy noise on the MazdaSpeed 3. So last video, we took this out for its last stock drive and we put down some benchmark numbers that we can relate to as we start modifying this car. If you guys want to see that video, I'll leave it up in the top left. We did a couple 0 to 60s and a couple rolling pulls, just so we have a base number of, like I said, what we can work off of and see what mods kind of improve times, etc, etc. Like I said, the intake we're going to be putting on the Speed today is a CPE 3-inch. Supposedly, we won't need to relocate the battery box because this thins out along that area where it comes down beside the battery box. We'll see as we go. Brand new AM filter on this. We're gonna make some whooshy noises today. In case you guys are learning how to do your intake today, I'm gonna kind of run you through how to do it as well. Start by unplugging your MAF sensor. Take a Phillips, you're gonna wanna disconnect the top of the air box. While you're here, take your MAF sensor out with these 2 screws. Take the bottom of your air box. This just pops out, just sitting in a couple grommets. Now that we got that portion out, go ahead and take your PCM cover off with your battery cover. Take this off as well. For your ECU, take a flathead and put it in between the white and the gray. Pop these white little clips up. You can pop your ECU out. So now our battery box is out of the way. We have open access to our inlet pipe, which goes down to our turbo, which we can remove and put our new intake in. Go ahead and remove these parts of your intake. The hose that connects here, there is a 10 mil, I believe that's a 10 mil, holding your intake up. Underneath all of this, if you follow your bypass valve, there is a hose that connects. You're gonna have to remove that from the intake as well. In the back of your intake, you guys can see this red hose. Yours is probably gonna be black. Next to a nipple, you're gonna wanna pull this off of the intake side. Be careful as it is a plastic nipple. You don't wanna snap it. Normally, you can just pull up, disconnect itself, remove some things that are attached to your intake. Now, this part is the hard part to kind of see. In behind where the intake attaches to the turbo, there is a clamp that you need to get a 10 mil or a Phillips in and disconnect it. Unfortunately, it's very hidden and it's hard to show. There you guys have it. So this is our aftermarket intake, is our OEM intake. As you guys can see, the amount just open space. Our intake's down there. If you guys are fighting a bigger intake, removing the plugs from this harness that go back here into, I believe that's your EGR, can help alleviate a lot of stress. And then there's also that big hose that I'm pointing at right there. If you can have a second hand, it just kind of pushes that out of the way. Other than that, we're all good. So while we're here, we're gonna go ahead and plug in this vacuum line. Now everything pretty much from the inlet back is complete. You just need to put that bolt back on. While we have this big open space, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna plug in our bypass valve, hose. Everything's pretty much set up. The real mission here is getting the battery back in. Our intake is officially on. Finally, we have a little bit of saucy sauce. Double check everything is connected. Now we gotta get the access port and install our tune. Go ahead, we can install it to the car, and then I can go ahead, gonna save our old data and install the new data. And our tuning is done. So we just turn the ignition off. I'm gonna roll the car outside. We're gonna start it up and see what's going down. Okay, so we're setting our logs here just real quick. The first log that we have to do is just a second gear acceleration from 1500 RPM to 4500 RPM, just really slow, nice and easy. This is just MAF calibration because this is a OTS tuned from one of the tuners. Bring our RPMs down to 1500, hit our and then just a slow acceleration. To 4,500 RPMs, I believe it was. So we're gonna do a third gear from 2,500 to 6,500. Let her rip. Woo! That intake makes some beautiful, beautiful noise. So now that we have our intake on, now we can set some new times. That'll come in the next few videos. Hopefully we get a dry day soon. Now we're finally making some cool noises with the MazdaSpeed 3. I'm so excited to finally get started with its mod path in the power department. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like on the video. Comment down below what intake you have on your MazdaSpeed 3. Guys, keep it real. I'll see you in the next one.